Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Shoestring Jane and this is my review of my frugal week. So this week we've been outdoors an awful lot. It's been very lovely, mild weather. I say lovely. It's been quite wet at times, but it's been very mild weather here in the UK. And so we've been on lots of walks and done some outdoorsy type of things. I've also been boot sailing and bargain hunting, so I'll show you what I found. And been baking again with mixed results, not always absolutely perfect, but I am just a beginner baker, so when it comes to bread anyway. So I've been baking bread and I finally found enough rose hips to make some syrup. That was a bit of a task, but I managed to find them in the end. So anyway, here, have a look at our frugal week. Bright and early, and we're off to the boot sale. So I'm taking a flask so I don't spend my money on all the coffee there. So girls' morning out. So I am back from our boot sale. We thought we'd get one last boot sale in before the season was over. We haven't really done enough. So because it's early October and obviously it was cold morning, there was a lot of traders, and there do tend to be quite a lot of traders, and they tend to reel out the same old rubbish week in, week out, and there's not so much that I want to look at. But there were some proper boot sailors, people that had a clear out, and we got some reasonable things. A lot of things I got to sell on eBay, so I do make some extra money by selling on eBay, or vintage, and I picked up things that were really cheap. So I really focused on the 50p piles and the £1 things. Because there wasn't anything that was really spectacular. So, you know, if you're not going to make a massive profit, you may as well not spend very much on your stock to start with. Some things I got for myself, so I'll show you those first. I just picked up this really bright t-shirt because I thought it's only Pull and Bear, it's nothing special, but I do like a bright tie-dye because I'm an old hippie. I think that's really nice. That was 50p. That's quite good. I picked up just a big old long, it's kind of a long t-shirt come dress. I mean, I wouldn't wear it as a dress, but I do like a big black t-shirt. It just goes over so many things. And again, that was 50p. My daughter persuaded me to buy these. I never wear heels. I just struggle with heels. But we do have a wedding. I have a blue dress, and they were £2 in my size, and they're kind of comfortable for high heels. So I thought, well, yeah, I'll get them if I don't like them. If I don't, not going to wear them, I'll just sell them on eBay. So, I mean, I'm not going to make a great deal of money, they're new look. But, yeah, they're nice. They're suede, they're real suede, and they're quite comfortable. New look comfort. I did try them on and tottered about the house in them. I haven't tried them on with the dress. So, it'll be just, we'll have to wait and see whether I actually wear those or not. So, I'm not really into high heels. And I'd quite like a printed jean, so I bought those for £1. They're only papaya, which is Tesco, isn't it? So again, nothing special, but I slum around the house in tracky bottoms a lot of the time, and sometimes it's nice to wear something that's not a tracky bottom. I do wear jeans quite a lot as well, but so again, I don't know if they're going to fit or be nice, but for £1 you don't really care, do you? I think that was all of the clothing I got for me. What's the other shirt? The other shoe. I did buy these baskets. They're like almost like Russian doll type basket within a basket, and there are 3 of them, and I think they're really nice. So I bought that for £2. Now I'll either end up using them. I do have some in the bedroom already that are identical to these, so I don't know if I really need them, or they'll be a gift as they are for somebody, because as you will know if you're a regular viewer, I'm on a completely second-hand year, so I'm trying to even look at Christmas presents second-hand. I mean, I can either use them as gift baskets and fill them full of goodies for people, or give them to somebody as is. I haven't decided yet, I'll wait and see, but that was £2, so that was worth it. I also picked up something else that I'm not sure whether I'm going to keep or not, because I don't really need any more crockery, but it was so lovely. The lady charged me £4 for all of these, and they're just really gorgeous print plates, all in all different colours. So there's a green one, a blue one, I think there were 6 plates, an orange one, and you can imagine somebody putting these on their like colourful dresser. There's another green one and a pink one, and a blue one, another blue one, I think. Yeah, a lighter blue one than the other one. I mean, they're lovely, aren't they? They're just really nice. They're Waterford fine china. I looked on eBay and there's nothing like this on there. They do have various Waterford designs, but nothing like that. And I can really see them actually selling quite quickly. Somebody who likes that shabby chic look. So I might sell them rather than keep them because I don't really need them. As I said, there were 6 of those. And for the £4 as well, there were 3 bowls. There were only 3 of the bowls. I could sell them separately. There's a pink, a blue, and a green. And she wrapped them all up for me in bubble wrap, which I thought was really kind. So that's really good for £4. I think I'll probably sell them. I don't think I'll make my fortune with them, but I might, you never know. My daughter bought this for me. I don't know how much she paid for this, but I doubt it was more than a couple of pounds. A ring light, so I can do better filming, because as you know, if you watch my videos, I'm no expert, but it's a ring light, social media ring light. The lady said her daughter decided she was going to be a social media star last year, and she bought her this for Christmas, and she never even took it out of the box. So there you go, that was mine. I doubt she paid more than a couple of pounds for that, as I say. And then I picked up, everything else was just from piles on the floor. And you had to go through an awful lot of dross to find anything useful. These are clocks and they're really ugly, but what I have found on eBay is that people they love ugly shoes, and they've still got the label on the bottom, so they're not very well worn, and they're leather. And Clarks, I think Clarks stuff always sells on eBay, and they've got a nice chunky sole. They'll sell. I paid £2 for those. I don't know, I reckon I'll probably get about 15, maybe, we'll see. But they're there to sell. This was £1, and it's Ted Baker. I always think Ted Baker's pretty overpriced anyway, but Ted Baker for £1, you can't really go wrong. Plus it's very Christmassy sort of design. It's a dress with a ruched bit in the middle. You can't really go wrong with that. Plus it's not a tiny size, it's size 2. I think that's Ted Baker. Is that about a 10 or a 12? Maybe a 12, I think. But yeah, that'd be great for Christmassy things. A lot of the other stuff I got was very kind of geared towards summer, but I'll be okay next year. This is only H&M, but again I thought, well, it's a cute little jumpsuit. Maybe somebody will wear this for Christmas. It's sequined jumpsuit, and that was, I think that was 50p. Yeah, that was on the 50p pile. Everything here is £1 or 50p, so I might get it wrong, but I mean, I wouldn't personally wear that, but I can see someone wearing that clubbing, and I don't think I'll make a massive amount of money on that, but every little helps. This is Monsoon. This was on the 50p pile. It's just a Monsoon cotton, sort of jersey cotton, long maxi dress, like a tube dress, skirt, a tube skirt. Again, it's quite summery, but it's Monsoon for 50p, size medium. Can't go wrong, can you really? This one I think may have been a mistake. This was 50p, but and I thought, well, it's nothing special brand-wise. It's glamorous. But I thought it was like a dress where you stuck your arms through here. But when I've looked at it, it's actually one that fits around your bust like that. And I think that's perished, that elastic. So I don't think that's going to be good for much at all. So I don't know. I don't think I'll really bother with that. But it was only 50p. I can't remember if it was a 50p or a pound. But as I say, nothing was more than that. This is a lovely woolly jumper. And it's got a wool element. It's really soft. And it's only from River Island, I think. Yeah, River Island. But it's still got its tag on. It originally cost £36. And it's a wool mix. It's only about 30% wool. I think it's like a Bardo neck. But it's lovely and warm. So again, that's quite nice for now. And a dark grey. So a nice, useful kind of jumper. And this was also £1, and it was it £1.50? I think she might charge me slightly more for this one. Again, this is Monsoon. It's very summery. It's linen, and it's only a size small, but it's a jumpsuit. And these people like these jumpsuits. I'm kind of almost like dungaree jumpsuit. I certainly would wear that if it was in my size, but it's not, so I won't. £1.50 that one, I think. And then this one was £1. It's only Primani, but again, I do find when I sell jumpsuits, they do sell really well on eBay. So I'm not going to get a lot of money from this, but you'd be surprised that Primark stuff does sell. I always think it wouldn't, but I think people like certain designs. They don't sell them anymore in Primark, and if they are very lightly worn and you can pick them up, then you can probably make, I could probably try that for a tenner. I might not get a tenner, or I could put it on auction. It's not going to make my fortune, as I say, but amongst the slim pickings as far as clothing went today, that was worth picking up. So that is everything that I got today. So I didn't spend an awful lot of money, and some of that will make me some money and some of it will save me some money, because obviously I only buy secondhand clothing at the moment. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with all of my bargains. And so I'll have to get them washed and ironed, and especially things like the woolies will have to get onto eBay fairly quickly. And I do have piles of stuff around this room that you can't see, which I really need to do. They're all kind of washed and pressed and ready to go, so I just need to photograph them and get them on. So I do find eBay, although I'm not a proper reseller in that, it's not my main source of income, it is a useful source of income. So if you need to make extra money, then it's worth considering whether you can sell your own stuff or buy to resell. But you do have to register as a business if you do that, and you do have to pay taxes on anything that any profit you make, as I mentioned in my money making video, which I will link below in the description. So anyway, onwards and upwards, let's get this sorted. Hey, little snuggly boy. It's 8:30. It's time for us to go out. Yeah, it's time to wake up. You want to wake up? You want to stay in bed all day? Are you exhausted? I can see why. Poor baby. Shall we go walkies, Archie? Last time I looked, these were really underripe. They look a lot better now. They're not completely squidgy, but they are squidgier. That one's squidgy. So I'm going to pick a few while I'm here. So annoyingly, that tree didn't have that, that bush didn't have much at all. So I just got the tiniest amount, which I'll add to the ones I got before. But it was really annoying because I could see several really lovely rose bushes with rose hips on them that looked really good, but they were in the middle of brambles and I couldn't get to them. We tried, we went round the side of them and see if we could get into them, but there was literally no way without getting scratched to death. It just wasn't going to happen. So I have to look elsewhere. I just need to find some nice rose hips from somewhere so I can make my syrup. Anyway, I'm off home now. One of the good things that's happened this week is that we discovered a new app. Well, it's not a new app, but it's new to us, called AllTrails. It's a free app. You can pay to get pro, which means you can get various maps offline, but we didn't bother doing that. But the great thing about AllTrails is that it gave us lots of little circular walks in our local area, some of which we didn't know, even though we knew that those areas, we didn't know the particular walks. So we went on a really lovely one and through an old church and we took in a graveyard and quite a lovely hall and just really lots of lovely landscapes. So it was about a 4 or 5 kilometre circular walk, and that was really nice. So we wouldn't have discovered that without that particular app. It's worth checking out. So I'll show you where we got to this week. This was the fabulous new walk we discovered thanks to the AllTrails app.
I never really know what's going on. Look at me sometimes like all you want to do is run. Hear me out,
You like that, don't you, Arch? This little running stream from a mill pond or something, isn't it? It's interesting, isn't it, Arch? Beautiful. We found our ideal house that we want to move into. Don't think we could be too frugal there. They probably don't appreciate people staring at their house, taking photos of their house. That is a lovely house.
Where is the actual church?
It's well hidden.
So close.
Mr. Shoestring can't find the church.
You get through to the church. You walk around the second loop.
Beautiful old church. Might be open, but I don't think they'll want us in there with certain muddy-pawed Archie somehow. There's our little house again. Justin's just openly taking photos. He doesn't care. Doesn't mind gawping. It's a great house. Beautiful. Very little chapel. It's actually Sunday. Gorgeous. Real crypts, the great and good. Thomas Lorkin Daniel. Nobody knows who these were.
Be the Daniels family.
Oh right, perhaps they were in the old hall.
Yeah. Look at the church though, the way it all angles and it's gorgeous. It's like a real old flint church.
I think that might have to do. Throwing in the towel. Archie's got his new to him harness on. He chewed through his harness the other day. It's my fault because I thought he'd stopped chewing things and left it on the floor. And he ate it. So we don't really need it for walking, but we do need one for the car. I need to adjust this because the lady in the charity shop helped me put it on. We got it from a charity shop, as you would imagine. He's a little second-hand Archie, aren't you, Arch? Oh, yes, so exhausted. This is my very ancient old Camwood food processor, which I don't use very much nowadays actually because I tend to use my hand whisker, my hand blender, but it is good for this kind of thing. I've got to chop these up a bit before I can start the rose hip syrup. So I'm going to do it in this. That is noisy. Do them in little batches because they are going to be too many. I'm not actually blending them, I'm just mashing them up a bit. This is the quickest way of doing it. So let's have a go. A few more. Oh God, Archie will be eating them, he likes these. Here you are, Arch. You're a great help, aren't you? He's not very keen on the noise though. thing I learned when I was reading up about how to make rosehip syrup was that, and I'd forgotten about because I didn't know it when I was a child, was that they used to make itching powder out of the inside because it has a kind of hair in it, which is really itchy. And I'd forgotten we used to do that, open them up and stick them down each other's jumpers when we were kids. Delightful. I was supposed to collect 1 kilogram of rose hips. I've got just under the 1 kilogram, so because I'm not going to get out to get any more, I don't know when I'm going to get some more, so I'll just put slightly less sugar in when I come to make it. Last one. God, I'm glad that's done. It's really noisy. And then I just add some hot water to it and bring it to the boil and leave it for a bit before it needs to be strained. This bit could get very messy. I'm using my jelly strainer for this, and it's very liquid, so just do it really slowly, I think is the way to go. Otherwise it ends up all up the wall. Last little bit. Now I'm just going to leave that for a while to strain. So one of the final steps is to add quite a lot of sugar. Gosh, it's going to be very sweet, this. And dissolve it. It's only going to make me about a bottle, this. There's about a litre of liquid in here. I've got a fancy bottle and it only lasts 6 weeks or so in the fridge anyway. The thing with rose hips is that they're really full of vitamin C, so they're quite good for the cold season. So even though it's actually got so much sugar in it, so it stops it being altogether massively healthy. But if you need a bit of vitamin C boost, some rosehip syrup is probably quite a good thing to have. Okay. I haven't got a funnel, so I'm going to have to very carefully pour this into the bottle. I think I might need 2 bottles actually. Let's see. I thought this was a litre, but it might be slightly less. Find another bottle then. And okay, this is an absolute vodka bottle. I have no idea where it came from. I must have just thought it's a nice bottle and kept it. I haven't got time to try and get the label off now, so I should just use it as it is. That's fine. This liquid is not as clear as I thought it might be, but I don't think that matters that much. There we go, so I'll just wait for that to cool down and then I'll give it a taste. And there we go, 2 nice bottles of rosehip syrup to keep us going through the winter. Pleased with those. It's the end of my shopping week, so I've just used lots of vegetables and a little bit of bacon and made a kind of minestrone, but with rice instead of pasta. So I'm having that for tea. And I have also got some wholemeal sourdough on the go. I've never made wholemeal sourdough before, so we'll see if that works. Normally I make it with white flour. So that'll go in the oven in the morning. And here's my first finished attempt at the wholemeal sourdough. It looks pretty good. It didn't rise as much as the white stuff. It's got a nice crust on it, and I put some seeds on it too, so hopefully that'll be nice. We'll see. We'll try it in a bit. Impenetrable crust. That's a good start. That's beyond crusty. So this one is not really such a good one. It's stuck to the bottom of the baking tray, which I've never had before, and it feels quite stodgy. I wonder if my starter is at fault here. Anyway, I'm going to taste it and see what it tastes like. So this has been the least successful of all of my sourdough bread making experiments. It tastes fine actually, but it's got a slightly cakey, stodgy consistency. It really stuck to the tin. I don't normally have to oil it, it comes off fine, but I think with wholemeal I'm going to have to oil it. And it's just a lot heavier. The crust, as you saw, was kind of impenetrable. It was really hard. I mean, a crusty loaf is lovely, but it was too chewy and difficult. But it does taste okay with jam on. So it's all right, but I definitely need to experiment a bit more with using other flours other than white flour. So I've got to get another loaf on today. I thought I'd pop on quickly just to show you some really good bargains I picked up from my Barnardo's charity shop today. They were all on the pound rail, so these are things that aren't for me. These are things that I will sell on eBay. So you may know from some previous videos I've done, that's one of my streams of income. So I buy to sell on eBay, and it's a good thing to do. It's a good way to make a little bit extra money around a full-time job, which is what I used to do, or as one of many income streams, which is what I do now, or if you've got kids at home, or you can't get out very easily. So this is what I've bought for £1. Sorry, the dog seems to be throwing himself down the stairs for some strange reason. You can't do better than Hobbs for £1, can you? That's just crazy. It's a pink skirt. I think it probably should have had a belt with it, but that's easy to resolve. It was £6, then it was £5, and then finally they put it on the pound rail. And size 10, and it's fully lined, and it's just really nice. I just think, well, for £1, I can at least get a tenner back on that, I think. So I was really pleased with that. These kind of things are kind of tricky sell. You never know if they're going to sell, but for £1, I thought I would buy it. It's Monsoon. It started out as £6.50. Again, it's a size 10. Smaller sizes are not the best. Bigger sizes are better. But it's it's in reasonable condition. It's a kind of strapless little party dress, cocktail dress. It's got some embroidery and some beads, and that all looks intact. So again, for £1, you really can't go wrong. I think it's probably silk as well, because these things usually are. So it's dry clean only, so it suggests it probably is silk. It's not telling me. That's weird. I think it is. Yes, it is. It's 100% silk. Underneath, anyway, this got this kind of netting, acetate netting on top. I have no idea what happened there. My computer just decided to turn itself off in the middle of my filming. So it'll probably be a terrible edit just here. As I say, yes, it is 100% silk with a kind of acetate netting stuff on top of it. So it's got to be worth £1 of anyone's money to sell on, hasn't it? And then I picked up this dress, which is a Reiss dress. And Reiss dresses are really expensive. It isn't a fancy one though. It's just a jersey dress. A jersey kind of t-shirt dress with a little bit of a ruching around the waist. But again, £1, you just can't go wrong, can you? I think this is a small size as well. Small size is definitely more difficult to shift. If you can get plus size anything, they sell really, really well because there's just less competition. It's a viscose elastane mix. Is it gonna? Oh, it's just say it says a size here. It's a size 10. So, but that's good for £1. I keep saying for £1. What's this one? This is only Topshop, but again, Topshop sells. I find Topshop sells. So it's not everybody's cup of tea. It's a little peplum party dress type thing. Again, I wouldn't have picked that up at the original price of £4. It's a size 10 again, but for £1, that's worth it. I reckon I could probably, I may not get tenner on back on that, I'll see. This originally was only £2. It's only a Wallace skirt, but it's a long linen midi skirt, and this is the kind of thing I find is quite easy to get rid of, so I could probably make a tenner on that one. This is silk again. It was kind of odd. It was kind of oddly sort of displayed, but it's a kind of little vest top with a silk overlay, kind of baggy silk overlay, and that is Monsoon as well, I think. No, it's Phase 8. Phase 8, so another good brand. That started out at only £3 actually, which is surprising. I think it, like you say, it was sort of tangled. It was all kind of inside out, so I don't think they appreciated what it was. And it's actually quite a nice floaty top, and it doesn't have any stains or anything on it. It's really good for £1. And finally, I get a lot of these, and they do sell eventually, but they don't sell for very much. So it's a tenner maximum. It's a Coast sort of satiny basque type thing, and again it's a tiny size, so that might be difficult to sell, and it's silk again, but it's, you know, that's worth a go. It started out at £4 and ended up at £1. So it's always worth looking on your pound routers, and as I've said before, if you do want just to make yourself a few extra pounds, you can always sell Spice to Sell. You do have to declare you're a business and be a business, register as a business with the tax office and pay tax on anything you earn. You have to tell eBay that you're a business, but you can sell on Vinted without having to get a business account. So Vinted is another one worth looking at, particularly with lower value items, I think. So anyway, just thought I'd share that. Thanks for watching my week of random frugal doings. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please don't forget to give me the thumbs up and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Till then, bye for now.